What's up, Facebook Live? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me get Instagram going real quick. What's up, Instagram Live? Welcome, welcome, welcome. As you're tuning in, I'd love to know, number one, where you're tuning in from. Number two, love to know three things you're grateful for. Yesterday, we talked about how to beat procrastination in our 100-day personal performance and business growth challenge. And today, we're going to talk about the next element. We've talked about what's up, Mr. David. How are you doing, sir? Good day, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Hello, hello. As you're tuning in, love to know, number one, where you're tuning in from. Number two, love to know three things you're grateful for. Go ahead and throw it in the comment section. Hello, hello. Let's see, lots of good friends jumping on. What's up, Jaden? Nice to see you. Tamaz, nice to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Deborah, welcome. Rachel, good morning. Hello from Brazil. Hello, hello. Austin, Texas, what's up? Welcome, welcome. New Zealand. I don't know what New Zealand is. Good day? I think that's Australia. Simona, welcome. Budapest, what is up? As you're tuning in, love to know, number one, where you're tuning in from. Number two, love to know three things you're grateful for. Midland, Texas, howdy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Costa Rica, Pura Vida, good life. Hello from London. Hello from Tunisia. Good day, good day. Welcome, welcome. Chris, nice to see you. Central Florida, Rhode Island, welcome, welcome. So let's see. Fort Lauderdale, close by here. Scotland, grateful for family, love, and nature. Colorado Springs, grateful for my children, health, and my ability to teach them and love the kids. Hello from Madrid, Wisconsin. Miami, what's up? Grateful for tissues, decongestants, and electrolytes. Hope you feel better. New Mexico, howdy, howdy. Scott, how you doing? Okay, so far in the 100-day challenge, we've talked about figuring out what it is that you want from 2019. What do you want from 2019? What do you need from 2019? What's up from Delaware? So what do you want from 2019? What do you need from 2019? What do you desire from 2019? Good morning, Australia. Good day, Perth. Nice to see you. Rachel, good morning. And so what do you want? What do you need? What do you desire from 2019? We talked about how to beat procrastination by using pain and pleasure to drive yourself to action. We've talked about getting rid of, if you remember, our very first little lesson. We had these anchors dragging behind us. And we talked about the fact that to start the 100-day challenge, we have these anchors behind us. And we need to cut off those dead weights and get rid of them once and for all to allow ourselves to then move forward with where we want to go without any weight dragging behind us. And today, since we've talked about what do you want from 2019, the next conversation we're going to have here real quick is, what are you willing to give or trade in return for what it is that you want? So real quick, we talked about, writing down, what do you need? What do you want? What do you desire? Now, those are three different categories, if you remember. What you want is something that you really just want. You want to have it. What you need is you can't go on without it. And what you desire are kind of those unspoken things that you don't even know how to put words on sometimes. It kind of gets you excited. It makes you nervous. It's just something that you really desire. And you even judge yourself for desiring it sometimes. It's just something deep down inside that you desire. It's like a feeling you have that you just feel compelled or that underlying feeling. I hope you get what I mean here. And so we had you write those out. We had you write down when you think about what it is, the tasks, the things that you're going to have to do in order to be able to achieve the results you want. We talked about writing them down as if they were a job, something you were forced to do. You were willing to suffer through just because the reward was worth it. We had you write them down as if they were a career, something you're excited about, something you're passionate about, something you're driven towards. And the thought of you always want to be better at it. You want to excel at it. You want to improve at it over time. And then we said also, write it as your God-given mission, something that there's nothing else you'd rather be doing. Like that little man we talked about in part, I think it was day 3 or day 2. We talked about little man sweeping leaves, how he found so much meaning and purpose just in the simple process of sweeping leaves. And how could you find that meaning and purpose? According to our friend Amy, a Yale psychologist, she said, how could you rewrite what you do every day to literally find that much purpose in the simple daily tasks you're going to need to do in order to achieve the results that you desire and deserve from 2019. Today's topic is based on what it is that you want from 2019. Here's the question. What are you going to have to trade in order to get it? So in the comment section, I'd love to know, what are you going to need to trade in order to get the results that you want in 2019? So going back to what you wrote down a few days ago, the specific results that you want in 2019, what are you needing to trade in order to get it? Are you needing to trade your time, your creativity? Are you needing to trade your products or services? Are you needing to trade your intelligence? What is it that you're going to need to trade? Let's see. So I need to trade my comfort and complacency. I need to trade wasting time doing unimportant things. I need to trade our home for a rental bus. Okay. What do you need to trade in order to get the results? Now you want to be specific here. You want to write down exactly what it is that you want. If you want to go out and make $100 million in revenue for your business in 2019, you then got to ask, what do I have to trade in order to do that? I saw someone write a post the other day. 2019 would be great if the children could benefit from music training. Very cool. Trade family time, it's tough. Okay. But I saw someone write down the other day, they said, if you had to make $30,000 in the next 7 days, what would you do? So I'm going to throw this question out there. If you had to make $30,000 in the next 7 days, what would you do? Let's see. I'd have to trade playing video games and drinking with other activities like habits that back up my goals. There you go. Oh, we have a guest appearance coming in the background. There she is.
Baby shark.
So the question is, what do you have to trade in order to get the results that you want in 2019? What do you have to trade? Now, the reason I'm asking the second question, which is if you had to make $30,000 in the next 7 days, what would you do? Because the answers that I read on that page, alarming is the wrong word, but were interesting. I read them and I went, oof, I wish people had more options. So I'm going to ask you right now in the comment section, if you had to make $30,000 in the next 7 days, how would you do it? What would you trade for $30,000 if you had to make it in the next 7 days? I have to trade feeling comfortable. I need to get uncomfortable. Okay. I need to trade my study time for my CFA or my time to study for my certified financial accountant. I don't know what that is. So if you had to make $30,000 in the next 7 days, what would you do? I would do whatever as long would be noble, okay? I'd become a sales maniac, okay? I would trade time for it, okay? What are your options? I think less TV shows and less social media, okay? Now, I'm asking this seriously because most people, if you got into a pinch, don't have a lot of options to get something like $30,000 in 7 days. I have to trade horizontal couch time for photography and inventory. Okay. What would you need to trade? You need to make $30,000 and really truly do this thought process. If you needed to make $30,000 in 7 days, how would you do it? I would trade comfort with time with friends and pride. I'd read Chet Holmes' book and Ultimate Business Mastery Series videos to implement the nonstop. Okay. How would you literally do it in the next 7 days? If you had to make $30,000, how would you do it? I would train 24/7 in dance, customer service, and writing. I would start a new company today. I'm out networking now. Okay. So really, truly, this is something. I'd sell my vehicle to start. I can figure out how to transportation without the vehicle. Okay. So trade something you have. I would start my charity in the Philippines. God bless you. Hope there you go. I'd have to stop micromanaging. I would stuck in the thinking process. That's okay. Keep thinking. Just force your brain to think. Now, let's do something real quick. I'll give you a way to stimulate ideas to show you how to access another layer of thinking very quickly. So what I want you to do, let's see, I would trade every idle moment for building a relationship with more potential partners to sell products with them. Still thinking, that's a hard one. Okay, this is why most people, and thank you for answering in this way. This is the truth. This is how most people feel. They're like, shoot, I don't know. How do you make $30,000 in 7 days? I'd mow 30,000 lawns, $1 a lawn. Someone said buy and sell stock. I'm sober from alcohol for 11 months, Jericho. Dad, congratulations. Congratulations. So this thought process, though, I remember a long time ago. Let's see. I'd scale by building sales team. Okay. I would trade any time wasted watching TV to work on networking and my phone work. Okay. What else? What would you do if you had to make $30,000 in 7 days? What would you do? So most people, they struggle with this, but I want you to help. I want to give you a thought process that can help you access this, because I guarantee there's a bunch of people watching this right now who there's probably at least 10 of you that are going to watch this, that if you do this process every day, you're going to come up with a solution. And then you're going to message me in the next, 10, 15 days and go, oh my God, I made $30,000. How do I know that? Because I've done this before at an event and someone was sitting in the room, they did the process, and then I came back a few months later and at another event in New York City, and this lady literally raised her hand and said, can I tell you something? I said, sure. She said, when you were here a couple months ago, you asked this question a bunch of times. I kept writing down answers, and most of them were just silly and ridiculous, and I couldn't figure it out. But then one of them made kind of sense. So I did it, and she's like, literally, I've made, and I don't remember her exact number, but it was something like she made like $50,000 or $40,000 within that couple month period of time. She's like, I just wanted to say thanks, because the conversation we had was, she says, I really love doing, and she likes, I think her business was healing people, energetically healing people, physically healing people through like massage and Reiki, this kind of stuff. And I remember we were talking, and she says, but yeah, how do I make money doing this? And I said, well, wait a minute. You're saying, because so many people said, make your passion into your business and then you'll never work a day in your life. And she's like, but I feel weird, charging people. I feel that everyone should have the right to have this kind of healing. Everyone should have the right to the kind of thing that I'm sharing with people. And I said, then why in the world would you charge people? Just give it away for free. And then she looked at me, she said, but how am I going to make money? And I said, here's what I want you to do. And this is the exercise I'm going to give you. This is taught to me by a good friend of mine. His name's Keith Cunningham. He's one of our business mentors. He says, take a pen and paper, put on a timer for 5 minutes, and sit there and write down every possible solution you can come up with. Every one of them, as fast as you can. Every solution. Don't judge it. Don't even consider if it's good, bad, right, wrong idea. Just write it down. Write down as many as you can for 5 minutes. He said, take a break after 5 minutes. Stand up, shake it out, relax, get some blood flowing. He said, sit back down, put on a timer for 5 more minutes, and write down every possible solution you can come up with again. He said, the only caveat is you cannot use anything you wrote down in the first 5 minutes. So you write every idea you can possibly come up with for the next 5 minutes. And then you stop. And you go, okay, there's 5 more minutes of ideas. Wait, shake it out. Do one more time. Set the timer for 5 more minutes. Sit down. Write down every possible solution you can come up with to make $30,000 in 7 days, if that's the number you're looking for. Here's the only caveat. You're not allowed to use anything that was in the first 2 lists. So you have to write something that is not in the first 2 lists in this 3rd list. Now, what's interesting is the first list will sound surface, like, oh, I'd sell my car, I'd remortgage the house, I'd figure out how to get some investors, stuff like this. The second layer goes a little deeper. Like, I would figure out what's most needed in the society around me, and I would do my best to figure out if I could help get the solution, and then figure out what's a fair ROI for the trade. And I was like, oh, that's really interesting. And then the third layer taps into something really deep. Usually it goes beyond this concept, and it goes to something where you start saying, you know what I would do? I would just walk around and I would look and just ask a simple question. What is worth 10 times the ask that I'm asking? I'm asking for 30,000. What's worth 300,000 that I could do for someone right now? What's worth it in their business? What's worth it in their life? What's worth that amount that I could literally do right now? And you might not come up with 300,000. You might come up with something you could do that's worth 20,000. You say, okay, I'll charge $2,000 for it. And then I'll do that with 10 people and I made $20,000. But you'll start asking a deeper question that solves a real problem. And then at that point, as long as you can honestly and truly deliver the service or deliver the solution or come up with a product or build whatever's needed to be built, all of a sudden magic happens. So people keep asking, what would you do if I had to make $30,000? Well, this is a question I've asked over and over and over and over and over again. I like helping people. What I do in my spare time, people say, like, what are your hobbies? My hobby is usually hanging out in the DM section of Instagram, chatting with old and young people all over the world, helping them solve problems in their life and their business and their health and their relationships. I think I told you guys a few sessions ago, I helped a 12-year-old boy in India figure out what he wanted to do with his life, figured out he wanted to be a pilot, but he didn't know how. So we then figured out how to get him an interview with someone at a local airfield to then go figure out what's the necessary steps to truly figure out how to be a pilot for himself. He's 12 years old. There was a young girl trying to figure out she wants to be a lawyer and her dad wants her to be an engineer. And so we helped kind of sift through the process to figure out how she could understand him better and then represent her options to see if it would fit in his world and it would make sense to him. And if anything, she'd better understand why he's pushing so hard for her to do that. Lots of people. There's a young lady who was talking to me about wanting to grow her business, wanting to grow into a new business in real estate. So I was helping her figure out what is her financial thermostat set at, because whatever it's set at, like a thermostat over on the wall, if it's set at 20,000 a month and 10,000 a month, what's going to happen is as soon as if you drop below 10 grand, you're going to go, and work. As soon as it gets up close to 20 grand, you're going to go, I'm close enough. And it's going to go back down and you're going to spend it. And then as soon as it gets to 10, you go, and it goes back up. And most people are literally right between these two sections of their emotional temperature gauge, their psychological financial temperature gauge. So that was something I'm like, hey, you want to set this correctly in the beginning, and every 6 months, reset it so that what used to be comfortable is no longer comfortable. And now you're earning more than ever before. I told her a simple little analogy. There's a reason in 3rd grade why the desks are a certain size. And in 12th grade, the desks are not the same size. We're supposed to grow as humans, and we're supposed to literally keep growing. Most people every year, their financial bank account and their numbers is pretty much the same as the year before, a little higher, a little lower. And what's happening is they're just elevating right between their financial thermostat, their temperature gauge. And so in that case, going back to how would I earn $30,000? Well, since I like helping people, I'm in the helping profession. I do coaching and speaking and training. My wife has also started a few other businesses. And I'm very proud of her. She started a business on Amazon last year. And she told me the other day, she made $7,000 yesterday in sales. She was averaging like $130,000, $140,000 a month. And that was within her 3rd month of setting up the business. So it's this thought process of what is your answers if you take time to do this every day for the next 10 or 20 days, and you spend 15 minutes of writing time saying, if I need to make $30,000 in the next 10 days or 7 days, how would I do it? And if every day you write down new answers, you're going to come across in 10 days, in 15 minutes a day, you're going to come across at least probably 5 to 10 viable solutions, things you could actually really truly do to get that amount of revenue generated in that amount of time. Now, I'd love to give you this option, because that way, when you say, based on the goals you want to achieve in 2019, what do you have to trade in return for it? If you're willing to get your wheels turning, make your brain work, it will find real solutions, but you got to be willing to do the work. Let's see. How do you reset the thermostat? There's a worksheet. If you guys want this worksheet, I'm trying to think of an easy way to do this. Let me Google something real quick and see if our website has it. I think if you Google, let me see. So Jarek, if you Google my name, Jarek Robbins, financial thermostat, let's see what happens. The financial tool that helps earn more, minimize stress, and maximize satisfaction. Is this it? Yes. So if you Google Jarek Robbins financial thermostat, it'll bring up a blog post called The Financial Tool, or titled The Financial Tool That Helps Earn More, Minimize Stress, and Maximize Satisfaction. If you scroll down on that blog, there's an opt-in that says, get your financial thermostat download here. Put your name, first name, last name, email. Our opt-in's a little screwy right now just because we just put up a brand new website. But if you hit send me the goods, it'll email it to you still. It'll take you to a page not found. That's okay. Check your email. It'll still be there. But if you want the thermostat, it's a worksheet we did in 2015, it looks like, and it's still up on my blog. So just Google Jarek Robbins financial thermostat, go to that blog post, scroll to the bottom. You'll see it there. Let me see if I can show you here. I don't know where the little spinning. Oh, there it is. So this is the blog for everyone who's watching on Instagram. It looks like that. You scroll down. There's a download you can get right here, and then right there is a worksheet you can download that'll walk you through the process of how to reset it. So we have that all set up on our blog. Go grab a copy. For you guys on Facebook, I don't know how to flip the camera around to show you, but it's on my blog. Go check it out. Oh, thank you, Tomas, for putting it in the there's the links for everyone who's in Facebook. If someone takes that link and puts it in the Instagram comments, I'll tag it so everyone can just click that link. How can I get in contact with you? DM me. Can I ask a question? Anthony, go for it. Are you coming to the Prove It events this year? Yes, I'm booked with Prove It to come and speak in Arizona at the Epic event, I think it is, in February. So hopefully I'll see you there. How do we reset the thermostat? Go get that piece. Anthony, yes. Am I taking questions live? Go for it. I'll answer a couple questions. Normally don't on these because I try to keep them short, but let's answer a couple questions real quick. What do you got? Nice glasses. Thanks. Ah, there you go. Thank you. Well, let me tag it. Oh, pin comment. There you go. Let's see. So, Anthony, a question? If not, I'm probably going to jump. Was this useful for everyone who's tuning in? Hopefully this concept is useful. I want to give you a tactical tool, something you can do every day, that if you're willing to sit down, how much does the why impact this exercise? So there's been a lot of stuff written about it. It's all about your why. If you have a big enough why, then you can figure it out. If you have a big enough reason driving it, then that'll do everything. What I found was, and I went and did a presentation at a Keller Williams real estate office. P.S. If any of you guys have real estate offices, sales teams, leadership teams that you'd like me to come and chat with about high performance, please send me a direct message. Normally we charge a significant amount of money, but if we can find maybe 3 or 4 offices in a certain region, like we just did an event where we did the regional event for Keller Williams up in Connecticut. And then I stopped by the day before and did an office event locally for someone who owns 6 offices there. So we put them together. But if anyone in here, you have a sales team or an organization or an office, I have a really amazing performance training that I can do for them. DM me and we'll see if we can put 3 or 4 together in a region, and then we can massively lower the price for people, and we can do a solid presentation. And I'm just what they said. A handful of the agents who go to all kinds of presentations, who go to all the seminars and this stuff, they said that was the best in-house training they've ever had. I wasn't there to sell anything. I charged a small fee to the office in advance, and we came in and just delivered full out for about 3 hours, and no one moved an inch. They loved it and took, piles of notes. Let's see. So the question was, going back. How much does a why have to do with it? So here's what's more important than the why. So the why is amazing. I agree. If you have a big enough reason why, it'll drive you to action. The reason I brought up that Keller Williams office is I asked the people in the room, how many people have a big why? Everyone raised their hand. It's part of the Keller Williams philosophy. I love that about them. I said, how many of you still struggle to show up every morning and do your calls, your field calls, to set new leads, to set new appointments, to find business, all that jazz? And everyone raised their hand. I said, that's interesting. And I said, let me give you a little secret sauce here. What are your top 3 values? What's most important to you? It's also asking why, but different way. It's saying what's most important to you. If you don't know your 3 values, or if you just say, well, it's being a good person, God, family, making a difference, stuff like this, what I'd ask you to do is go to highperformancevalues.com. highperformancevalues.com. Someone throw that in the comment section, please. highperformancevalues.com. Take that values assessment, and it'll literally help you identify your top 10 values, and then it'll tell you a lot about where you are psychologically, emotionally, based on the values you're choosing, and how to optimize your communication strategy and also your motivation. So I picked the lady in the room and I said, you don't like coming in the morning doing your calls. And she goes, that's right. I said, okay, what are your top 3 values? And she said family, and I forget the other 2, but family was the first one. And I said, let me take a stab in the dark guess. Let me guess that you currently don't link up in your head how showing up and making your calls in the morning helps you better your family life. And she's like, yeah, that's right. She's like, well, I could kind of justify that by showing up and making my calls, it allows me to better take care of my family. And I was like, yeah, you justify it, but you're forcing it, aren't you? And she goes, yeah. And I said, let's find some new links. Let's show you how to link this up in a new way where you literally see that every time you pick up the phone, it directly, positively impacts your family. She goes, but I don't know how. And I said, okay, let's do it. So making a call, how does it relate to your family? She's like, well, it could provide potential income. It could. And I said, well, do you have kids? She goes, yeah. I said, well, how many kids do you have? She told me her kids. I said, well, does any of your kids struggle with confidence? She goes, yes. And I said, do you think that if you showed up and practice exuding absolute confidence every day, that when you went home every day, you would show your child a new level of confidence? She goes, wow, yeah, I didn't think about that. I said, oh my gosh. I said, what else does your child really need right now? And she goes, well, what does my child need? And she started listing her child's needs. And as soon as we started doing her child's needs, all of a sudden, then she started to see how, wow, by me, Tamaz, yes, highperformancevalues.com. By me showing up and doing this, I'm becoming the type of person that will naturally, through my actions, influence my child to become the type of human I've always wished and prayed and hoped they would become. I got a message from that office and said, this human hasn't missed their calls since. And I went, oh, yes, it's partially their big why. This next piece is linking it to this human's top values. by linking up, and we're going to do a whole little day on this. It's part of the 100 days we're going to talk about. But by linking up the actions needed to your top values, it seems obvious and effortless to do them because it makes sense. If that helps answer that question, Anthony. So I'm going to wrap this up to keep these short for everyone. Hopefully this was useful. I will be back on tomorrow. What is today? I'm going to aim for tomorrow, let's say at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So a little earlier than this. Hopefully I'll see you all there. Kick some butt, have some fun, and have a great morning, day, evening, afternoon.